So, my name is Paige. I'm the host of Finally on the Same Page podcast, and this is our guest today.
Hi, my name is Greg Pinataro. Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to it. So, I guess we could drop in for a second.
All right.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and feel both your feet on the ground. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a moment to check in with your body. Whatever open tabs you have right now, acknowledge them. Go ahead and just set them on the shelf. You can get them back later if you want, or leave them there. Go ahead and do a little bit of movement that feels aligned for you, just to bring yourself to this present moment. And now take a second to call all of your energy back in from the different years, the decades, from today, from any experiences. Just call yourself back in. And now take a moment to let go of whatever's not yours in whatever fashion that looks like for you. All right, and then when you're ready, go ahead and flutter your eyes and come back to the room.
I'm back.
Back. Welcome back. So, the first question that I have is, how did you discover mantras? And I also want to just open the floor to if we find a different thread to follow, like even better, like the questions are just kind of prompts, like we have our book club and the opening of the covers just to open the portal. So the questions are just like opening of the door.
Perfect.
So yeah. So how did you first discover mantras?
So Ryan, Tamita, and I were kind of in adjacent friend circles, not exactly overlapping, but overlapping at the fringes. And we met at a dinner one night, ended up grabbing coffee, and then a couple months later going for a hike together, and really had a great conversation. He was telling me about this group that he founded, and I was really intrigued and went there and instantly fell in love.
Oh, well,
Yeah, I had such a good time connecting with the guys and seeing the depths that everybody was willing to go to and explore. It was exactly what I was looking for at that time, and just continued to deepen my connection to the organization. And now it kind of feels like an endless supply of potential new friends. And it's one of the going to the Tuesday deep dives is one of the highlights of my week every
no,
week.
that's amazing. And so was Tuesday Deep Dive like the original container you went into?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And that's been most of my involvement with mantras. I've been to a few and a handful of the events, but definitely the Tuesday deep dives are the highlight for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. And if you were to reflect on what has been the most difficult experience you've had within mantras as far as your own self-work goes?
Most difficult experience as far as my own self-work goes. Um,
Take whatever time you need to pull that up. I just pulled that question out of the hat. No,
Thank you.
yeah, I'll sit here quietly while
Yeah.
you pull it up.
I wasn't ready for this one. I had
Yeah,
so many highlights and good things to talk about.
you want to go to those first?
No, we can save those for a minute.
Okay.
Most challenging in terms of my own self-work. I think it's probably been in the latest iteration where I've taken more of a leadership role when it comes to guiding the Tuesday deep dives and being responsible for preparing the structure of them, balancing my own desires with how to run the container versus incorporating feedback that people have in terms of ideas, positive reflections, constructive criticism, and looking at, do I need to automatically change something just because someone has a desire to change something? I mean, the answer is obviously no, but that's been my default in the past. So this has been a good area of growth for me to look at, like, this thing actually is working and doesn't need to be changed, or oh, that was a good idea. Let's implement that and see how it goes. So I'd say that's that, and stepping into owning leadership has been one of the biggest areas of growth for me, but one I've been having a lot of fun with.
That's amazing. Yeah, I hear that as like the difference between realizing that like a reflection doesn't mean completely changing. It just means like potentially recalibrating
Totally.
or reevaluating or not.
Hmm.
Like I feel like people often give us our opinion on how they would run it.
Yeah.
And sometimes the feedback is like, that's beautiful. And like, that's not how I would run it, right?
Yeah.
Like if I tried to run it that way, like it wouldn't go like
Yeah.
that. Like that's a beautiful vision. And if I did that, no.
Absolutely. Very,
Yeah.
very well said.
Yeah. And do you find that with now being in leadership, like are you able to drop into the medicine of the circle?
I so that's a great question. I would say there are times when I'm aware of being like slightly more in observer mode in terms of keeping one eye on the time, or are we making our way through the structure and agenda? Have we been on this one topic for too long and it's losing steam? So there is that's there, in addition to being an active participant, but there are times when it feels like I'm able to be even more involved within it. And I've really enjoyed that. So it has not interfered with my ability to experience the medicine of the circle, and it's been some very good medicine for me as well, in terms of honing leadership skills.
That's amazing. Yeah, I feel like that's like a key part of leadership is to be able to like still recharge within it,
Mm,
you know.
yeah.
Like how do I find that balance? How do I do that? And would you say as far as like if you were to reflect on having more of like dropping into your body experience versus like being in your head, is there a difference between when you were just receiving the medicine versus now in leadership?
Hmm. There's probably a greater pull to be in my head in leadership. Luckily, through this kind of work, both on my own and as a group, I'm typically pretty able to stay in my body. So I'm grateful for that. But yeah, there's definitely that pull to go. I can feel the draw into wanting to be up in my head at certain points. So good to be aware of.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like an amazing container for like seat time,
Yeah. Do you
right?
feel that when you're leading the women's container?
I found that I was like really like for a while I was hyper vigilant and just kind of like aware and always in observation mode.
Mhm.
And I actually had like a really amazing conversation with Kyle, and he was like, trust your instincts, like trust that you can like drop into the moment and be present. And if something hits the fan, like you will jump into protector mode,
Yeah.
right? Because like I'm responsible for the container. And just having him point that out like really helped me shift
Yeah.
and to trust like, yeah, like I can flip into that and it's draining if I live in it,
Mm,
right? Like the same goes like outside in life as well. Like
for sure.
I'm naturally a protector if it's just me and I'm hyper vigilant. And if there's not someone in the room who's more aware and more protective of me, then I'm doing it. And like we learned in Queen's Code, like that's a draining state for a
Oh,
female.
for sure.
Yeah. And so I took that and like applied that to life as well of like, okay, like drop in and just trust that I'm aware enough that if I needed to, I could jump into gear.
Amazing.
Yeah. And I do still like experience like a deep breath and a different level of softening when we come into the men's container, like when we
Mm,
are co-ed. Because then I'm like, okay, like whew, there's some like big protectors in here for me.
yeah. Yeah.
And I'm still ready to like jump in, but I don't have to.
It's
So
wonderful.
yeah, yeah, it's a good shift and it's great seat time too. Like that was a state that I lived in for a really long time. It's
Mm,
like just always protective. And to be in an environment where like I don't actually need to have that experience
hmm.
and to practice like going out of it and then going back into what I need it is such a blessing.
For sure.
So yeah, yeah. And it's been enlightening to be like, why am I so tired today? Like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe because I didn't never switch off. Yeah,
Could be that.
could be just a hunch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Any more on that aspect of it?
I don't think so. I'll keep you posted as it evolves.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
And then as far as what has been your either favorite, most enlightening, or most freeing experience in mantras?
Few.
Yeah.
So love to share some of them.
Yeah.
For me personally, it came about 3 or 4 months ago. I was going through a situation in my personal life where there was some repressed anger that I was having difficulty accessing in my day-to-day life for whatever reason. I wasn't able to tap into it. And on one of the Tuesday deep dives, I could feel it bubbling up inside me and in response to something that we were reading. And this was in the men's larger circle only. And so I asked like if I could step into the circle and yell and scream a little bit and be witnessed. And everybody said, of course, like, yes, please do. And so I had shouted some angry things that had wanted to come out for a while, and then immediately broke down crying. And it was one of the most beautiful and healing experiences of my entire life because I was, witnessed and held by 20 other men and celebrated for my vulnerability, where it was seen as a strength and I wasn't judged or ridiculed. And it was so profound to release all that and be loved for it that it was a huge shift instantly. And so I kind of reflected on, the version of me that played high school sports and college sports, couldn't imagine breaking down in tears in front of a group of guys that I considered my brothers. Like that would have been unthinkable. And to have it happen and then to be one of the most beautiful experiences of my life was wonderful beyond words. So I'm, yeah, very, very grateful to have gotten to experience that and grateful for everyone who um, witnessed me and experienced it alongside me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did it give you permission or the realization that like when that emotion is expressed instead of suppressed, like how fast it can transmute and transition
Definitely.
in the right environment?
Definitely. Because it was pretty quick.
Yeah.
That was probably a lived example of the 90-second rule, the whole thing about emotion moving through your system quickly if you don't resist them.
Yeah.
So that was really powerful.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. And to have the awareness of like with the right people, right? Like I think
Exactly.
yeah, Brene Brown talks about how like vulnerability, not everyone deserves
Yeah.
our vulnerability. And so it's
For
like,
sure.
okay, in this container I can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this was a group that, I had spent a year or more getting to know a lot of those guys and trusted completely and felt safe being vulnerable and had made plenty of vulnerable shares before, but this was probably one of the first times that intensive emotion came out. So it was clearly I was ready, right, and the group was ready for me, and they were the right people who could hold that vulnerability with love and care and honor.
It's beautiful.
It was.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And one thing also that I love about the container, or one thing that I try to do is like that gets to be just a moment in time, right? Like that's not a story you're tied to. That's not an identity. Like that doesn't have to be a part of who Greg is. Like that was a moment in time and like got it out, transmuted it, like let it go.
Exactly.
And the next week it's not like, hey Yeller, or
Yeah.
whatever, maybe like
Yeah.
like the terrible nicknames we give each other in high school that stick with you for decades. And you're like, bro, that was like a moment. I had like some pepperoni on my face. Like I don't like let it go, right? Like let me be someone different.
Definitely.
But
and it had a lasting benefit too, because then I realized, I've done a lot of work over the past few years of befriending emotions, but anger was one that I was still kind of pushing away. And that experience allowed me to be more comfortable with it on my own. And so there'd be times when like, oh, you know what? I need to scream, or I need to punch a pillow, or I need to shake, or I need to cry, or whatever. And that being witnessed in that and something that would have seemed scary at different times in my life meant doing it on my own was like, oh, easy.
Yeah.
This feels much more natural and like it takes much less effort. Which is funny because it's the suppressing of the emotion that takes the effort. But
little did we know. Yeah.
Yeah. But so I saw real tangible benefits in my life from that too, which was really profound.
That's amazing. I love that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm curious to like, I know we have a couple sacred rage containers coming up, or like I know I have the desire to do like a rage room where I've been doing self-defense. And I think it would be really valuable and really relatable for everyone to just witness like we all have a decent amount of rage inside of us, right? Like I may think like I'm the only one that has it, or I don't want to show it because I'll be judged for it. But really, I feel like when we're probably in that container, first of all, we're not really paying attention to other people.
Totally.
And secondly, it's probably like, oh wow, Like we all have that because we weren't taught how to like express it or transmute it or deal with it.
I think damn near everybody, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited for that. I know that there's a couple like there's some rage
Oh, yeah.
rooms around here. Yeah.
Have you ever been to one?
No, I haven't. No. I've gone for rage walks.
Okay.
I've done that. And then I've been like there's like I have a IKEA table out back.
Okay.
And I'm like if there's one more like straw, I'm probably gonna go back outside and just like
Crack that thing in
just
half.
beat it with a baseball bat.
Wow.
Yeah.
The rage rooms can be very therapeutic. I think
Yeah.
I've done them once or twice.
Oh, really?
And yeah, they're fun.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I love that, yeah, like there's different ways we can express emotions, right? Like we don't always have to go to a rage room and
Absolutely.
break stuff in a safe space. We can just yell and be witnessed or
Yeah.
cry and be
Yep,
witnessed.
or even be still sometimes and just let the sensations move through. They can take so many different forms
Yeah.
to express.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there anything that you want to add or any questions you have?
Well, I did want to add, like it's not only stuff that I've experienced, it's been equally beautiful to witness other people in their expression. Like a few weeks ago in one of the small groups, we had a man in the small groups of four, we had a man start by expressing some irritation about the behavior of another of a friend of his in his life. And over the next 40 minutes, we went down like a trail of deep self-inquiry that covered family dynamics, unprocessed grief, beliefs about how he needed to show up in the world and for whom, and some deep who am I level inquiries. Who am I without this? And it was just so amazing to witness.
Wow.
And that I could do that kind of stuff every day of the week. And then the following week, there was an example of after the container had been complete for the night, there were still a few of us hanging around, and a woman who had been experiencing some emotions throughout the night asked if we would witness her scream. And it was this primal noise of just rage and anguish and pain that was so profound. And I asked her, how long has that been waiting to get out? She said, my entire life. And getting to witness things like that on back-to-back weeks is like, wow, it absolutely lights me up to see people showing the courage to look within and fully feel and allow themselves to be witnessed. And I haven't come across a group of people before who are so willing and able to do that. And it's one of my favorite things on this earth.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I love mantras and
Me
what
too.
everyone stands for and what we're
Obviously.
doing. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, the build up to Tuesdays, you know, it'd be, I know that we've all had a desire to have like more containers like that, but it's like, yeah, I think it's amazing what we do here and can only get more expansive.
Totally.
So yeah, awesome. Well, do you feel complete?
I do feel complete.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It's my privilege.
Absolutely. Always enjoy your interactions.
Same.
Thank you. Much love.
Much love. All right.